Greetings. I am Connie, your music maven, and this is another vlog entry for Music Plus Business. Actually, this is the fourth video blog entry. We did a live stream earlier. Unfortunately, the live stream did not post as a video because we went over time, but that's okay. Jovi Hendrix is going to join us later on today, and we're going to crunch it down what we did in all that time. We're going to crunch it down under the 15 minutes so you get some valuable information. But it was great. It was wonderful. I should have went straight to Spreaker with it so you could have downloaded the podcast. Um, did I mention that I'm Connie, your music maven? What does that mean? Because I say it all the time, but what do I really mean by I am Connie, your music maven? A maven is someone who has specialized knowledge in a particular field. So I say I'm your music maven. So when I say music maven, I don't necessarily mean music theory. I mean, I do know some music theory. We're not going to get into all of that. Crescendos, decrescendos, diminuendos, compound meter. We're not going to get into all that. That is not what the Music Plus Business platform is about. The Music Plus Business platform is about me helping you to fortify your mind to become a powerful music enterprise. And today is, what do you know? Today is 4th of July. In America, we celebrate 4th of July. July 4th, 1776 is what? Independence Day. So, happy birthday, America. So what I think about when I think about Independence Day is business, entrepreneurship, free enterprise. What I mean by that, if you don't have a job, you can create a job. If you create a job and the job you create doesn't work out, you can create another job. So, when you think about creating a music business, notice that usually I say music business, and I kind of shy away from the term music industry. There's nothing wrong with the term music industry, but what I do is much more, is broader in the sense. I'm not actually sitting here teaching you about the politics of the industry, though I sometimes may talk about it. But what I really want you to know, because it's not difficult to get into the music industry. This is you can do that overnight. But the music business, which you could possibly do that overnight as well, is so few and far between to find someone that is into the music business. If there's no paperwork involved, if nothing is in black and white, it is not business. It's just you. It's a hobby. You playing around. You're in the music industry, and a lot of people are happy with, on some just happy to be here type of stuff. I almost said something else. But a lot of people just happy to be here on some music business. They're here at this industry party. They're shaking hands with this multi-platinum producer or whatever, or having sex with multi-platinum artist or whatever, and they feel important. But what is it? What is your goal? What What is your vision? What dream is it that you're trying to accomplish? And this is how you can determine whether or not you're supposed to be in the music business. Because if you're just attracted to the glitz and the glamour, you're going to be chewed up alive. And if you're really into music, but you're not into business, you're going to be chewed up alive. They're not even going to kill you first. First, they're going to get off on you. They're going to rape you, get off on you, and then eat you alive. I've seen it too many times. And while we're talking about being raped, let's go a little bit deeper into 360 deals. This video is part one of Rethinking 360 deals. So basically what we're going to talk about in part one is what is a 360 deal and why do they even exist? What is a 360 deal and why do they exist? I'm going to kind of go ahead and uh, skim through an overview what a 360 deal is. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper into why they exist, and then I'm gonna delve a little bit deeper into the concept of 360. In part two of this video, we're going to talk about uh, making a 360 deal work for you if that's what you really want. Okay, so let's go back in time. Travel with me. It's 1994, 95, 96, 97, 98. What is the music industry dealing with? I could go very, very deep, but for the sake of time, we're going to say that the music industry is dealing with Napster. The music industry is dealing with peer-to-peer file sharing programs. Then you have BearShare, LimeWire, FrostWire. You get sound effects. You downloaded programs, downloaded. It started off with just downloading music. Now you can file share anything. You share whatever file, but people use these peer-to-peer programs to share music. And the general consensus or the philosophy of the public was this: Hey, Betty Sue bought Notorious B.I.G.'s album and she put it on this program because she's generous and she shared it with me. That's her prerogative if she want to share it with me. So I got a copy of what she shared. Keyword copy. They count as units now, present day. But at one point, and still really this is always the case, it's like cat and mouse with technology and law. uh, uh, the law had not yet caught up with technology. But the government, foreseeing this, not just the government, but your economists, your nerds, they foreseen this. The economists and the nerds that work for the record label said, hey, we have an issue here. This digital stuff, I'm telling you, this is about to kill us. People are taking the CDs, ripping the music off the CDs, uploading them to these peer-to-peer file sharing programs, and there's nothing, it's going to get to a point where we won't be selling CDs anymore. And the greedy big time execs of the big four and the big five are like, you stupid. I don't know what you're talking about. We're going to always be selling CDs. I don't care about this digital stuff. You fired. Bye. What happened? You know what happened. They started going bankrupt, started folding into each other and stuff, started getting absorbed into each other. You know what I mean? Kind of like how Electra is now under Atlantic, that sort of thing. Um, and the government foreseeing this and said, hey, the record label industry, I'm saying the music industry, the record label industry has been raping musicians, session musicians, music artists, performing artists, recording artists, songwriters for far too long. It's just not right. They're always coming to us for help because they've been raped. They have all this music out. They're famous. They're popular. They can't feed their kids. Let us create a company. Now that this new technology is coming out with this digital stuff, with Napster and everything, peer-to-peer file sharing, let us create an organization that will allow featured artists, music publishers, and master owners to gain a royalty from this digital stuff. Now, this was just about, again, this was about Napster and stuff like that. But now We've got devices like this, smartphones. We've got iPhones, iPads, tablets, Kindles, laptops. We had laptops then, but the battery didn't last long. You didn't really take them anywhere. Uh, we've got all of these smart devices, including direct TV and broadband cable. We have all of this technology that gives us access to whatever we want right now. We do not want to wait. And so the government listened to the nerves, even though the music industry executives did not. And they created an organization called Sound Exchange. You've seen my videos on Sound Exchange. I'm not going to go too deep into that. If you don't know what Sound Exchange is, go check out my videos on Sound Exchange. But basically, Sound Exchange is an organization that collects digital royalties, digital radio royalties. But the purpose of the organization when created was to keep an eye on what was going on digitally to make sure that people weren't getting raped and pillaged. So, now, again, we're talking about rethinking 360 deals. What is a 360 deal and why do the 360 deals exist? Of course, as you know, the economists were right. The forensic CPAs were right. The government had foresight. And the record label execs did not. There's still some people that stuck in the 90s. And the record labels were stuck in the 90s for years and years. People's begging them, but this is not going to work. You have to do something else. So finally, after they have been hemorrhaging money, losing money, they sit down and they try to figure out how else can we make money because we're not selling CDs. The record label's purpose was to move units, to sell units. And a lot of people say, hey, I'm not about to be a slave to you all. I'm going to be independent. So you got people putting stuff on iTunes, sometimes through CD Baby or some other distributor. They're doing things on their own, selling the CDs out of the trunk that did very well for a time. But the record label said, hey, we picked up this artist, we branded this artist, their CDs aren't selling, but they're in movies. They have a fragrance line, they have a clothing line, they have a sneaker line. They got all these endorsements and partnerships, merchandise and merchandising, and they're doing shows and they're touring. Hey, we need a piece of that money. So this is what we'll do. From now on, when we sign artists, we are going to get them to sign away their souls. We want them to sign away the majority of the percentages, not 50-50, not a partnership. No, we want them to sign away the majority of their percentages for sync licensing, anything that goes in a TV show, anything that goes in a movie, anything that goes in a video game, whenever they tour and they do shows, concerts, whenever they sell CDs, whenever they sell downloads, whenever they hook up with Macy's and do a fragrance, they want to put out clothes. Anything that the artist can do to pivot off of their brand that we made and created, we want a piece of it. Hence the name 360 deal. 360 mean it comes from 360 degrees, a full circumference, all the way around, global, all encompassing. Whatever you do to make, I don't care if you cut in grass, I want a piece of that. Because they would not have allowed you to cut your grass, to cut their grass, if you weren't who I made you to be. So it's BS, right? Of course, there's BS. Of course, it's BS. So why would I do a video about rethinking 360 deals? Things change. Things change. You have to really consider all of the terms when it comes to deciding if you will or will not sign a 360 deal. And this will close out part one of the video on rethinking 360 deals. In part two, I will discuss with you uh, what to consider when thinking about signing a 360 deal. What is it that could make a 360 deal work for you? How long are you going to be in a 360 deal? How long will you be in a 360 deal? What is the term? How many years? Uh, uh, how? What are the percentages? How are we going to split the percentages up? Is it just 360 of music? Like I'm signing to you as a rap artist, as a singer, as a music producer, and as a composer. But everything else, such as merchandising, movies, I keep to myself. What is it that you can do to move the pieces of the puzzle around so that the deal works in your favor? Thank you for watching. I am Connie, your music maven. This has been Music Plus Business. Keep God first and stay, you know.